Home Sweet Home. Welcome to Stereo 3D Productions, everyone. We're about to take a look at this and see how long I can go through it without shitting my pants. That's right, folks. This is Home Sweet Home, a game that was brought to my attention by none other than Max Hart. I checked some trailers on the Steam page, and my first reaction was to not only buy her a copy for her stream, but buy myself a copy because I noticed that, holy shit, it appears to support virtual reality. Now, I gotta make a few notes on that because support for virtual reality is sort of a limited term here. I'm gonna go ahead right off the bat and say that I cannot recommend buying this game solely for playing it in virtual reality. There are quite a few issues. It is not the first time I attempt doing this recording. It's actually the third time. And this will be the second time that I play through the full beginning of the game. At first, the game froze my entire system about 5 minutes in. Later on, I had to restart the game twice because when you enter a wall, like say I were to get up and walk physically in the room, but eventually clip through that wall, if you clip through anything in this game, you're fucked. Because then your player model is stuck in the wall, he can't get out, so even though the game tells you to walk backwards to get your view back, you can't because your character is stuck in the wall and can't pull the camera out anymore. And this is where I really can't recommend the game for VR in its current state. At the beginning of the second chapter, you get a key in the house, you go open a door, you experience a cutscene, and then you go in the crawl space downstairs. Upon entering that crawl space, it is the end for VR. The next scene loads, and I can see that the head tracking's working because the mirror image is still displaying on my screen. But it's just dead. And in the headset, it's completely blank. And on the screen, it's running at like half frame rate. You can tell something's really wrong. So, sadly, the support is not perfect. Now, I'm going to talk about it as if it were, like, say, a commercial VR product right now. And just critique what they've done so far that actually does work. The first thing you do when you end up in here and it fades in like it did at the beginning of this video is, whoa, man, everything looks fucking real. Like the fabric on this bed looks like something I could just run my hand across. The blanket there, and it looks like a different feel of fabric. Like, everything looks fucking real. The materials and everything. Looks like some talented artists worked on this game. But then you notice the first problem is the world scale. I am about a little higher than the seated height right now, and everything feels too tiny. In fact, if I stand, it almost feels like a correct height, so the ceiling is way too short. And, I mean, I'm 5'6". I would be able to clear a standard door frame. Now, I would say I'm a little higher than the floor. Like, if my feet were in the game world right now, they'd be about half a foot off the floor. Let's say it's just like I'm 6 feet tall, I'd still be able to clear a standard size door frame. This is pretty simple. What they could do to fix it, which would fix everything in one shot, is just alter the 3D strength of the stereo rig, the VR rig. Just decrease the 3D strength on it a tad. I would say 5-10% should do it. It will give you the impression of a proper world scale. Right now I would say everything is about 80% the size of what it should be. It's really weird. Obviously, it feels a little cramped because of it. But aside from that, I mean, that will not stop you from playing the game, like the issues I've mentioned before that. There are quite a few issues that'll completely stop you in your tracks, so that is not one of them at all. The other issue is sometimes there are subtitles, and they will only show in your right eye. And that will be a problem because it's an eyesore and you can barely read the thing when it comes up. So again, this is not the kind of thing that's going to stop you in your tracks, but it is annoying. And the third issue I noticed, and this is what I could call a Solus Project Special. It's the only other game I saw this bug in. I'm gonna move forward right now, and then I'm gonna look down. And that slows me down. If you've seen anything in this game, there's a section where you have to run away from something in a corridor. And I was wondering the fuck of me what the fuck I was doing wrong, because I kept like getting killed very early in the run. I wouldn't make it very far. And this is because I have the reflex of looking at where I'm fucking going, and part of that involves looking down a little bit. And every time you look down, you half your speed. You're going like, So yeah, I found that out, and that is a really bad mechanic to have in a game where you have to run away from something. To reduce your movement speed when you look down is stupid. So hopefully I make it there without crash. This is the thing right now. This is my third take. I made sure that my GPU, CPU, everything was nice and cool. Fresh boot. I do think I am overheating, and there's a few reasons for that. Is because this game is not only pretty graphically rich, but I am using the most demanding capture technique right now. So this game may not like officially support VR, but as far as what it will run on, it will not currently run on the HTC Vive. And this is a little bit ironic, because when you start the game right now, it starts Steam VR. And I've had reports, I've actually seen this myself, if you don't have Steam VR installed on your computer, even though you're just trying to play in 2D, there are good odds that the game won't even launch because you don't have Steam VR installed. So there's an issue with that going on right now, and I don't know why, because it doesn't support the Vive. It only supports the Rift. Now, for those of you who know this channel, recently I've discovered a new tool that we can use to capture Oculus Rift gameplay. It does a beautiful job, but it is demanding as fuck. It is the most demanding capture technique I can run. And thus, it really puts a fucking strain on the computer, you have no idea. And then I end up overheating. The game by itself would probably run very well on the system in VR. But now remember, I'm capturing at 60 frames per second while running at 90 in this thing, because the requirement in VR is not 60, it's 90. So, this is something I'm going to notice right away. You can probably see this on a screen, but in VR, this is a dead giveaway. The chair is a good 2 inches off the floor, guys. You might want to fix that. I'm just saying. Because, you know, I got depth perception in here. It looks like 3D. It looks like I can grab this chair. Yeah, so, kind of thing you'll notice immediately. It's funny how the Oculus Rift, they brighten it a lot. Above the fact that these displays are already super bright to begin with, they brighten the image a little more to wash out the black levels so that the light blooms and light shafts that appear in the lenses of the headset are not visible. They sort of wash them out that way. That sort of turns into a cheat with the Oculus Rift in a game like this, because I don't feel like using the flashlight. I can see fine. Yeah, I can't see like if it was day. It's pretty dark in this game, actually. And one thing I have to say that I'm impressed with is how this game has quite a deal of contrast, and it doesn't seem to be revealing all of the Oculus Rift's downside with the lenses. I'm not seeing too many God rays or light blooms. This is actually very good so far. So there's that. I don't know if it's credit to the game or credit to the latest Oculus runtimes, but it's looking fine in here. Look, it's pitch black in there. I'm gonna walk away and have the lamp. To my right, I do see a little bit of freaking out in the lenses, but not that much. Quite impressive. I thought it could have been a lot worse than that. Alright, so let's start looking for stuff. Oh, this is so cool, man. I feel like I could just grab this thing. It's about this big. Touch its horn. This is so fucked up. Yeah, this is the future. Looking at mundane objects rendered by a computer and being completely mesmerized by them. Hello. I don't want to lose my tracking. I know I'll occlude my tracker if I go any further. Still not using a twin tracker for seated VR. It's pretty simple. My favorite type of VR. It's so simple, so casual, so convenient. You just sit on your ass and play. So much more simple in the motion controls, in my opinion. Alright. Continue our journey. So I've seen all this, obviously. I've played an hour and a half. I'm probably going to replay through what I played, because obviously I have a hard limit there where the game will cease to work, even though it does not crash. It no longer functions in VR, so I'll stop there. You'll get an idea, and if they, from the time I post that video, if they choose to update the game and actually put in official VR support, which I hope is in their plans and I encourage them to do, I would very much recommend this from what I've seen so far. I mean, there's little rough edges. I wouldn't say all the edges are rough. It's actually pretty well polished in terms of presentation and everything. So, if you plan on playing this game in 2D on a screen, I would actually say go for it. But for VR, I would say wait till known updates are pushed to this game that resolve quite a few issues, actually, because right now it's a lot of fixing on the go as you play, and there appears to be a hard limit where you just cannot progress in VR past a certain point. Alright, let's check out the newspaper. This is pretty cool. Little objects. Just grab this tiny, it's like the size of 4 business cards. Just grab this tiny little newspaper. Right there. Stereoscopic 3D for the win. This is really amazing. I actually zoom in on it and make it larger. There we go. That looks like a more normal sized newspaper there. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. It's upside down, I believe. I'm not certain, though. It's still upside down. No, we actually have a translation for it. A university student reported missing. A student from a famous university in Bangkok has mysteriously disappeared for more than 2 days. Witnesses reported that she was heading home after a severe stomachache. More on page 15. A severe stomachache. I'm going to have something to say about that later in the game. We're going to talk about some severe stomach aches. Use it. I have used a key. So there we go. There's a subtitle that shows up in my right eye only. I don't know if you see it on the video capture. I hope you do. If not, well, I saw Find a Way Home in my right eye right now. So the first crash I experienced in that shorter recording was here. So hopefully I can get through this section without a crash. Maybe it was something the game does here. Maybe it was just random. I'm hoping it was random and that it will not happen again. I know that the last crash I had was a different story, though. Oh, this. Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. I'm about to encounter a nice friend of mine.
Hey, hey you.
This is really fucked up. Okay, no, I'm not there yet. It's true, I have to. Everything is so good. I really like that fog. The problem with the fog in VR, I'm surprised that none of the engines have addressed the billboarding problem. Fog is basically a series of 2D layers, one over another, to create a sort of depth to the effect. The problem is in 2D this doesn't matter, but they rotate the thing when you turn your head like this, to always face in an angle that makes it still look like fog. But they should not do that in VR. They should only point at the player. They shouldn't try to follow your head rotation, because then you can make the fog dance with your head. So when you basically turn your head, you can see all the fog panels turn like this. It's called billboarding. And it looks a bit ridiculous. It's not the developer's fault. That really is down to the game engines doing the billboarding properly. Holy shit. I knew there was one coming here somewhere. I wasn't ready for it. Fuck you. The color scheme is fucking cool. Like the aqua and red contrast. There's the door. Oh, wow. Oh, that's the door I heard. It's a little, everything looks perfectly safe here, folks. We're perfectly good. Any Easter eggs here? Is that an Easter egg? That looks like the kind of place you hide Easter eggs in. We'll find something new in here. Nope. I mean, they wouldn't have put boxes over the Easter eggs. I do, if I make it there, have a thing to point out later in the game that I think wasn't too much of a good idea. Hello. This is fun in VR. There are keys and controls to oh, hi there. To control peeking in this game, but obviously in VR, well, just do it with your body. Alright, I got a good advanced look at you because I used peek and cheated and you hadn't started your walk yet. Sure. Close the door behind me. How nice. Thank you for doing that for me. Okay. Looks safe, everyone. Looks safe. It's funny that the atmosphere and the tension and the weirdness makes you forget even though you just fucking played through it. I don't quite remember 100%. Man, these fucking chairs look real. The metal and everything. This is really cool. All the high detail materials. This game does have long load times. Really long load times. And I think I'm seeing why. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is how it happens. Now I remember. It's a note I can pick up. Oh yeah, the footsteps.
There you are.
Hi there.
Lisa. What the fuck?
Amazing. I know it by heart by now. She has no idea where I am. I have to be careful not to clip through anything here because it's gonna make me have to restart the game. But I also have to be careful not to get seen. So I'm trying to push back as far as I can without clipping through the damn locker. Look at this. Look at this place. Look at this. This is fucking amazing. She just basically... It looks like someone gave birth on the wall. And that like all the placenta is left. Someone threw multiple placenta on the wall or some shit. That is some nasty blood stain, dude. It looks not just bloody, but chunky. Hence the placenta. Yeah. So, placenta teleportation, right here. During the playthrough, the one that lasted the longest... Oh, must get out of this place. The right eyes subtitles. During the playthrough that lasted the longest, I was really, I gotta tell you, was enjoying myself a whole fucking lot. I thought this was really, really cool. There's some good tense moments, some good quality horror. It's very simple, but you don't need too much for VR to make it scary. You need it to work properly, that's pretty much it. And obviously, don't be too cliche about it. But as long as you present something that's somewhat convincing, you'll get us in VR. Plus, with graphics like this, something that I find it's really important in VR, may not be as important on screen, is to have extremely realistic graphics, because then it becomes that dream point, right, of VR, where we forget that we're actually using VR. We think we're actually in the environment. This gets very close to it, and I really like that. The better shit looks, the more persuaded you are. Right, let's do this. The cutters. Yeah. Go ahead. Thank you. I'm just gonna make sure to close that fucking door back. We're gonna have a cool scene soon. So, by the way, the first I saw of this game was before I even played it. Max Hart was playing it on stream, because I got her a copy. And man, that was fun to watch. This shit can get fucking scary and terrifying. Even the second and third time through that little part I went through the first, second, and third time. And then the rest right now, which I've only seen once. Yeah. Made nice and dreadful for you to forget the sequence of events and get scared again. This is very good. But I wish I had the problem. What happens when the computer crashes is the file is dead. The entire recording, just forget about it. So I lost all the fucking footage. That first impression reaction I had to a few things in here is pretty cool. I think this is a dead giveaway. That watch or not. I'll trust you. Here, this placenta wall right there. I'm gonna avoid the placenta wall. Here's the passage. Oh, there's a place to hide here. Seen that earlier. This is like a big fucking vase. I am hiding in a vase. You cannot find me. There we go. Get out of the vase. I still question the nature of the indoor fog. I mean, did someone leave... I don't mean one window, I mean every single fucking door and window of this building completely, absolutely wide open. It could be. Because... fucking micro heart attacks, you fuckers. This is... I like their soundtrack. I mean, I don't think you can call it music. It's very ambient, and it's a series of looped sound effects over each other that form a beat. It's very cool. Okay. Shampoo here. Wow, this is so cool. All the shit in the walls. What? That shit looks fucking real. You know, the sort of excess plaster looks real. I have to be careful here. Moving on to another section. Pretty sure that wasn't the radio. I think someone died in there. Hello, pizza? Hello, pizza? No? Pizza? I am here to deliver pizza, please. Would you like some pizza? Is it you that ordered the pizza? Holy fuck. I mean, even the gritty, dirty shit details is all there. They have these fucking coffee creamers everywhere in here. I wonder what happens if you just decide to go down the hall. Fucking bastards. Initially, when that happened, I thought, wouldn't there be a fucking item here? So you start fine-combing the place, because when the game closes the door behind you, normally it doesn't just want to jump scare you, it wants to let you know that you might be missing something. I still haven't got the groove with the game's sort of MO. It seems to be extremely varied. In fact, it looks like I'm not just gonna deal with one entity, if you may. So here's the deal here, as video game or horror video game logic. You go where she went, basically. That's the... or you go here. You quickly hurry your ass in here. So no, you don't go where she went. Let me get the things here first. There's things here. Right? The person nails Jinx. Do you have hatred towards someone enough to want them dead? Then you are at the right place. The Cursed Nails Jinx is a spell that can make your enemies suffer from nails piercing through their stomach. The result can be deadly. This Jinx has existed and been passed on for many generations and still be found today on rare occasions. Instruction. You'll need something from your target, such as a nail or some hair. Next, put them inside the doll made from graveyard clay. Tie up the doll with the thread used for shrouding corpses, not the holy thread used for other occasions and ceremonies. Pierce the nails were used to seal the coffins of those who died unnaturally right through the doll. Once it's done, your target will experience an agonizing pain as their stomach is filled with cursed nails. Only skillful casters can perform this. It cannot be achieved by novices. Okay. Always check the back. Bring these to Kai, or Chai, Shane's hair and nails. I do crystal nail. I do crystal nail for cheap. Oh boy. So someone, as the forensics investigator of Home Sweet Home, someone was grabbed by the back of the head and just slammed on the edge of the table until they were dead in the face. You see the contractors are a bit loose here. I mean, it's Art Nouveau, but it does, I mean, I don't know. Okay, we're about to get a really, really cool show here. Check this out. This is awesome. It's the kind of thing you want to turn around and enjoy. Watch this. This is fucking cool. This is what I call quality horror. Fucking amazing, man. Nice boobs, by the way. Hey, we noticed she had a pronounced chest on stream. Also kind of posterior curves to go with them. I'm gonna readjust that damn short Oculus wire. So she's she politely makes a noise when she exits the room to let you know she's out. Yo, I'm out. It's time to move. Slow and smooth. Slow and smooth. Smooth and easy does it. Who's light? Easy drinking goes down smooth, not filling. I do suspect one thing. If you're incredibly unlucky, she's gonna get you all over here. Oh, you actually turn while this is, even with a mouse. That's pretty cool. Let's get out of this place. No shit, sure. No fucking shit, sure fucking wrong. You know, these little particles in the air? I could actually see that on Max Heart's stream, and I was really hoping they were going to work in 3D. It's kind of weird they put floating particles on the inside. It's the kind of thing you do in an outside environment. But it's also very frequent that particles of this sort actually have issues in 3D, but these are working perfectly. So at least there's that. And I guess in a crawl space, the particles are a bit more relevant. There are definitely more of them. Yeah, they're all floating little dust particles in the 3D space. That's fucking amazing. Very cool looking. So, was this the doll you guys were talking about earlier? Oh. Why so sad? Give us a performance where you vomit blood. So this is weird. Her facial skin appears much lighter from here. From other angles, almost looks like she's burned. Like she's completely charred. And it didn't even look like that on screen, only in VR. I think there's a low persistence issue with this game. Or maybe with the engine itself. But yeah, the definition from the face is different. I don't know. It's kind of burned up. Is there anything interesting here? What is this? And what is this? Oh, yeah, this is the one about the two dolls. The Lechery Jinx is a spell that can forcefully make people fall in love. The noticeable feature of this spell is two dolls tied up in a hugging pose, one male and the other female. Instruction: create two dolls from graveyard clay and put something that belongs to your target inside one of the dolls. It can be either nails or hairs. Then tie up the dolls together with the holy thread used in shrouding corpses. Only skillful casters can perform this. It cannot be achieved by novices. Once it's done, put the tied up dolls under the pillow of your target. Okay. Oh. I just realized something. Oh, that's good. This guy that I am, he used this trick to get his wife to love him. You'll see later on, she sounds strangely attached to him. It makes too much sense. So, this is supposed to go, no, this is supposed to go this way. Oh yeah, watch this. This is a dead giveaway. Whenever you see lockers, you can probably expect that you're gonna have to hide imminently, very near the area upon entering it. And this is one of them. I'll show you how it goes down. It's pretty cool, actually, because they give you the holy shit moment like that. Yeah, you missed me, bitch. Oh, those eyes. See, again, like the skin doesn't look light anymore. It looks completely charred. She turned and all I could see was the eye. So cool. Nice. How many discarded placenta has this place acquired? Okay. This does not look trustworthy. Oh yes, this part. We're getting close to a part that gave me trouble because of the speed bug. This bug here, where you go slow and then suddenly you go fast, and you go slow. You go fast, you go slow. That's fucking stupid. They need to fix that. I need to, I think, press this, and then this. And that shit is gonna break. Oh shit. Fuck. Fucking game almost had me. I fucking already know it. See? I spoke about peeking earlier. This is how you fucking peek in a video game. I wonder if she can see my head if I do this. If she does, they did their homework right. So I'm gonna be careful about that. Is that you crying? Is that your victim running from you, crying? This is some messed up shit. And here, this is video game logic 101. Go where the scary girl went. Don't just go where the scary girl went. Follow her. I don't need to... Look. Why would I need to do that for? Mistaken, what I've seen so far, she's gonna cut through those two tables. She's gonna watch this wonderful work of art. Take her turn, come on, in between the two tables. Make a nice little drawing. She has a screwdriver in her hand or something? That's pretty fucking cool. Or a box cutter? So you attacking people with box cutters? Are you a terrorist? And she's playing with it and you can hear it. Should have fucking closed the door. I want to remember what happens here. This is pretty cool, actually. Okay. This is where I once clipped and had to restart the game, so I'm gonna be as gentle as possible, game. Don't fuck me over. She didn't like the music. Shut up. God damn it. People. Come on, cut. Turn the corner. You see your lovely face through this little fucking slot. There we go. Clear. Clear, clear. Green, green, green. Go, 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 go. Perfect. Ha! Thwarted by the door. Alright folks, it looks like we're unfortunately about to already reach the end of this game's VR playability. So as you can see, it's pretty much demo length right now. In fact, the part that you can play in VR, I highly suspect, is pretty much the demo part of their game. That's why it stops working at the second chapter. So yeah, that's pretty lame because I would have loved to continue playing. Now, that being said, considering all the factors that make me not recommend this for VR, should they complete this end-to-end, do it properly, this will be an instant recommendation from my part, because from what I've played so far, is almost worth, I would say, half its own price right now. If I could get the rest of the game to work, I would actually be a happy customer. So... and I know I wasn't promised VR when I bought this. It's not advertised, like I said earlier, it's not advertised as official VR support. It's time to take a look at a bug that is quite infuriating if you don't know about it. I need to keep my head perfectly level, which is about a little like chin raised like that, to get the maximum of my sprint and walk speeds. Like so. If I have the misfortune of looking anywhere like this or like this, I will slow down. And I will lose the next section. So, bearing that in mind, let us do our first attempt of this second playthrough. She's behind me right there, and she's popping out of the wall. I gotta move my ass. Shit, I forgot to look straight up. You gotta look fucking like this, like a retard. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We're gonna make it, we're gonna make it. Oh no! Almost made it. See, this is a close call compared to what I was getting when I didn't know about the head thing. And I fucked up again. I looked down a little when I started, and that fucking slowed me down. So like I said, if you don't keep your head up perfectly level, you gotta go through this, and you gotta get told to go fuck yourself. Hey, you gotta remember to do this again, because otherwise you can't press the button here. It does nothing. Let's go. Gotta remember now. Look up like a fucking... well, look up. Look level, which is slightly up with a headset. Floor. Floor. What? Really? Wow. must have looked up too much, because now it really went slow. Alright. It's a bit underwhelming also, the way she kills you here. It could be a lot scarier. She should legit, just to end up in front of you, she should legit fucking hop over you.
Bastard, damn it, come on!
Yeah, got it. A couple of tries. Much better, because originally, when I encountered the bug, it's sad that I don't have the footage anymore, but it took me 12 tries before I realized what the fuck was going on.
Hey, Tim.
And then I moved ahead and I'm like, oh, I speed up if I look straight
What's up
ahead.
with you, man?
That's bullshit.
I haven't seen you in ages. Hope you're doing well.
This fucking message.
Call me back so I know you're not dead.
This, I said I was gonna bring up something later on in the game, and this is it. Message to the developers, actually. You guys have a pretty good looking game on your hands, and you have some pretty exciting horror there, but you are bad at find the key sections. I'm sorry, I gotta be blunt, I gotta say it, you are bad at find the key sections. I'm gonna show you the sequence. I'll pick up the notes here. I don't know. Leave them there. We can listen to the message again.
Hey, Tim. It's
Well, at
Tim.
one point, the reason why I left when I heard
What's
this
up with you,
message,
man?
hey Tim,
haven't seen you in
is
ages.
because at
you're
some
doing
point
well.
I thought, you know, maybe
Call
there's
me back
clues
so I know
for
you're not
the
dead.
key and the answering machine, so you can go and cycle them and press the button over and over and hear a different message each time. Not the case. So we heard that shit on her stream, on Max Hart's stream, a good dozen times as she was trying to find the fucking key. I'll show you how this happens, alright? First you gotta know about the map, but this is what I find stupid, is find the map to find the key. I don't know about that. The key should just have been easier to find, in my opinion. Because all you want to do at this point is progress, and you know, this is where I would have put the fucking map, right there. This is another creepy little drawing. Front, there's something I want to share. Today is simply one of the happiest days of my life so far. Why? Because we finally had our own house. It's Tim's, to be exact. He worked so hard and saved up for this house. You see where, you know, she seems super proud of Tim back. Tim also said that the house was her first anniversary gift since we married. Isn't that the sweetest thing ever? Yeah, because you're under a fucking voodoo spell. Thanks a million times, Tim. I love you more than anything. Because he put a spell on you. And you died from it, or you came back and you vomited blood or something. I'm not too sure which, but wow, these fans look fucking real. It's fucking amazing. The textures, materials in this house are severely legit. We are this close. I would say right now, the games, the way they render graphics, we're at the point where it can look real. What we need is the headset capable of tightening those pixels. This would look indistinguishable from fucking reality. Except for the stereoscopic issues and the reflections. All the windows in the house have reflections in them. They have differences between the left and right eyes that aren't very good. Wow. Shit, dude. Oh, look at this fucking shit. I just oddly enough, this almost looks the correct scale. Is the whole house correct? I'm not sure. That does look like a ass-sized chair too. Maybe the house is a little better scaled. So maybe they did scale a few models wrong. Alright, so look, check it out. This is where you find the map. But then you look at this, right? You see this for the keys? This is the front door, the kitchen table and everything. The dining room table. So let's go there, right? Let's go there. You go there and you're like, okay, they gave me the answer. Oh yeah, that's a bathroom. And what's funny here is they're reusing the tile sets from those nasty places in this area. So it does look a bit clashy with this beautiful house. Suddenly you enter a sort of hospital-ish type bathroom because they're reusing the exact same assets. That's okay. They're forgiven. So on that key, check it out. Oh, every time I look down and see myself slow down, I get a bit pissed off about that. Why the fuck is that mechanic even there? Especially in the game where you need to run away from shit. Don't make me slow down if I look down. The fuck? Seriously, the fuck? Okay, so front door. Check this out. Check this out. You're like, okay, he's gonna be here, right? Fucking key's gonna like, where the fuck is my key? Like, it's gonna, okay, I got my cola, I got my plant. Where the fuck is the fucking key? No. Here's what they did. Come on, guys. Here's the thing, if you don't have a guide or the internet or whatever, time it takes you to find the map, time it takes you to find the key, maybe you guys want to change the pace in your game and make the player relax from all those terrifying experiences at the beginning of the game, but it's not a good idea to stretch it too much, and that's stretching it too much. Just wanted to say that. Just FYI. So that's it. There's a cutscene upstairs that I can go watch, but I will take precautions to stop my recording and restart it before we experience the cutscene. So there's going to be a cut in the video. Mostly because I want to see if I'll be able to progress past that after another shot. This is very cool, by the way. The notepad. A lot of the menus and everything. This is something Max Hart noticed on her stream. I didn't even say anything. I hear her say, these menus are so VR. Oh, Christ, she's fucking right. This one I like less because most of the menus that they have for VR right now stay exactly where they are. If you look up, down, left, or right, the menu will stay in front of you. So you can look away from it. This one sticks to your face a little. I would have had at least the arm do this, so you can sort of get the book out of your view's way and look behind it or something. These menus here, that's what I call a VR menu, because then you just got your thing there, you can look around and almost keep playing the game with the thing open, right? And with little 3D models in them just to make things cool. Oh, that's actually properly scaled when you zoom it in. That's pretty fucking cool. Alright. Enough. Let's go. Just resumed my recording now. So let's go and see if we can cross the gates into what the fuckness without crashing. Here we go, folks. Are you ready? Please don't crash. Oh, I have to legit fucking put the key there. That's funny. Jane's room. Hello, Jane. So here we go. This is the cool cutscene. It's so dreamy.
What are you doing here?
What do I do? A VR dream, yeah? White fog.
I'm just writing.
And have your scene happen over a white background.
Oh, it's private. Get out of here.
Okay. Well, it's time
Nice
for
curves,
bed.
man. How come the ladies all have nice curves in this game? Hey, the game survived that. But now we're about to reach the point where it will not survive at all. Let's read some diaries before we go, shall we? Front. I felt like I was getting worse. I kept seeing things that weren't there. It kept happening, and one time, I thought someone was in the house. Sometimes, I felt like I was being watched from somewhere. It felt creepy around the stair cupboard as well. Jeez, you're not doing any better, Jane. Take great care of yourself for Tim. Did I just talk to myself in my diary? Haha, weird me. Back. Tim hasn't come home yet. We don't hang out anymore. Not to mention going out together. We should pray a little and make some good karma. Who knows? Things might get better. Alright folks, hopefully I don't experience a crash, a hard crash, but I do believe the VR is about to cease functioning to the sad piano music. I'll be leaving this game hoping that they resolve this freaking issue. I, on my end, will be doing a few tests. What I like to do is see if I can play a section in 2D and then try and launching it in VR again after getting to another checkpoint. I might try that. Especially if it's just 5 minutes of gameplay to get to another checkpoint. Why not try? But right now I'm expecting the worst. Mostly because I tried twice and I saw the same bug occur. I'm pretty sure it's the game. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
What's up?
It's Dew. What's up with you, man? I haven't seen you in ages.
Then I look down
Hope
and
you're
it
doing
slows
well.
down. That's so fucking stupid.
Call me back so I know you're not dead.
Alright. RAP, folks. I'm gonna go in this inviting crawl space. And then it triggers a cutscene. Well, not a cutscene, a fade scene, like to another level. And, RAP VR. Alright. It's been nice, game.
Game?
See, it even wants to break your VR by attracting you into this hall by putting an intriguing sound. RIP game, you will be remembered. And there we go. That's it. That's all she wrote. Fuck. Yeah. I wonder what I see on the mirror. Oh shit, it is black. The only thing I see right now is on the screen, I see a sort of 5 frame per second output with the VR head tracking and everything. So it's like the game is fighting, like going, no, I don't want to be in VR, and then the VR is like, go, 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 and this fucking reducing the frame rate. So I will actually have to Alt F4 out of this. So I guess that's it, folks. Pretty much said everything I wanted. The game is, I think, $15 US. On Steam is $19 Canadian. It's very affordable. It's worth playing in 2D, but right now I cannot recommend this for VR. For obvious issues where you cannot pursue your gameplay. So that's it. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you next time.